Not every entry in a franchise is a success, and today's game is a prime example of that. Today we're going to check out Castlevania The Adventure, released in 1989 for the Game Boy by Konami. Now if that intro came off as kind of slow, I can't help it. That's the way I move, talk, and feel in general after playing this game for a good amount of time. The technical limitations at the time for this Castlevania game were not there yet on a handheld device. This game is notoriously known for having some of the worst slowdown in gaming history, and it's not even slowdown, the entire game is so slow. At the time though, it was awesome to have Castlevania on the go. If you loved Castlevania, this was awesome. However, I feel most fans were disappointed not just with the slowdown, but a lot of aspects of the game. Now graphically, it's unfair to compare the Game Boy to NES games at the time. But Castlevania The Adventure is panned a lot for its lackluster, pretty much basic graphics. Compared to Castlevania 2's Belmont's Revenge released later, about a year or two, there was no competition. Belmont's Revenge blew this game out of the water graphically in almost every other aspect. Now imagine playing a Castlevania game with no sub-weapons. Well, that's exactly what you have here. Castlevania The Adventure features absolutely no sub-weapons, not one. You can upgrade your whip to a point where it shoots flames, and hearts, as in most Castlevania games, refill your sub-weapon meter. No, here they actually refill your health. So immediately that's a big turn away for hardcore Castlevania fans. Sub-weapons essentially make a Castlevania game for the most part, and to not have them included is just criminal. There's only 4 stages. For a Game Boy game, that's pretty commonplace. But you only get 3 lives per stage, and when you die you have to start at the very beginning of the level, unlike in Castlevania 1 and 3, where you get to start at the last place you died, a checkpoint in the stage, so to speak. Well, I've tried this game as a kid. This was one of my first introductions as a kid. The only Castlevania games I had as a kid were this and Simon's Quest. Imagine that. Imagine that being getting your feet wet on this franchise. I didn't fall in love with Castlevania until the 16-bit era. This game was so frustrating as a kid. Honestly, I never beat it. I didn't even care enough about beating it. The slowdown, even as a kid in 1989, was frustrating enough. So that's Castlevania The Adventure. Like I said, the sequel, Belmont's Revenge, is leaps and bounds over this game. The music in Castlevania The Adventure is definitely the best part about it. The tracks in the game are amazing. For a lot of Game Boy games it had good music, but the Castlevania series on Game Boy are just some of the best. So that's Castlevania The Adventure for the Game Boy. Very disappointing title. Even at the time, today, it does not age well at all. One of the worst aged games ever. So check out Hibiki QUICKIE next time, where we're going to take a look, finally, at the PS2. Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at the HibikiTMD. Check out the Hibiki TMD Facebook group for everything retro gaming, pro wrestling podcasts, and everything in between. Thanks for watching another video, and thanks for stopping by on Hibiki TMD.
Hey, what is going on here?